If you're a heat and air conditioning technician, what is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make when setting a lead and getting somebody to talk about a new system? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Today, we are going to get into some setting leads and turnovers. All right, so I want to let you know the greatest fear that a consumer has is that a technician is going to show up and not even do what needs to be done and go, hey, homeowner, you need a new one. Okay, so let's put this right here. Are there people who need new systems? Absolutely. Should you do the right thing? Absolutely. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Do the right thing. You don't have to make stuff up. You don't have to lie. There's no reason for it. Okay, so let's say that I'm a technician. I got my bag. I knock on the door. We build rapport. However we do that, we go through the door approach, whichever version you use. And then we make it out to the air conditioner, or we make it out to the furnace, the air handler, the heat pump, whatever piece of equipment it is, okay? If you go out to that piece of equipment and the first couple of words out of your mouth are, this thing's old, or wow, or oh my goodness, I haven't seen one of these in a long time, you have just tipped your hand, you have just tipped your tail, you have just told that person, you got to be scared of me. You have to know that the only reason I'm here is to pitch a system. And you don't have to do that. I have seen 50-year-old pieces of equipment working absolutely proper. They're inefficient, but they are in perfect working order. I have seen 10-year-old pieces of equipment actually turfed. Like there's nothing left of them. The things are garbage, okay? You can't make this decision for the buyer, and you can't get too excited about it. It's like, I rode with a technician once, and he was the heat exchanger ranger. Heat exchanger ranger. The only thing he cared about was, let me find a crack in the heat exchanger. The problem with that is you're going to strike fear in the buyer. There is time to sell and there's time not to. And it's ineffective communication for a technician to walk into a backyard, to walk into a garage, to walk into a closet, to walk into a basement and look and go, wow, this thing's really old. You know how old this thing is? You just completely blown it, and you've wasted that lead for the most part. Can you salvage it? Yeah, you can. And this right here is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not the YouTube channel. That is a URL that you type in, HVACTechSecrets.com. Type that in, and what it is an email publication. You'll love it. I love it. I send out 2 emails a week. It's nothing too crazy, okay? So if you go to a piece of equipment and somebody goes, hey, this thing's really old, like the best thing goes, yeah, I've seen really old systems before, right? Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like your goal is to not, boom, kick down the door and like you need a new one. If that's the case and that's the conversation, have it way later on in the appointment. It'll help build trust. And please, don't make anything up. You don't have to. There's plenty of systems out there that somebody would love to change out. You don't have to make anything up. But you're giving a major tell by just automatically open the door. And you see how old this thing is? I had the unfortunate interaction with a industry sales trainer about 10 years ago. And this is their thing. Like, you really got to talk to them how old it is from the very beginning. Like, you probably have never ridden shotgun and watched how disappointed homeowners are when right through the door, the technician, the plumber, whoever it is automatically on the age trip without even touching the system, without even opening it, right? Somebody could have come out and replaced the capacitor, the contactor, the fan motor, right? Put a new hard start kit in. You have no idea what condition is on the inside, right? This is why it's super importante as a bonus tip for you. Let's say that I'm a technician, okay? And I go out to a system and I'm standing out there with the homeowner, Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones, and they go, hey, this thing's old. Yeah, old systems can last, right? It's not my job to start selling. It's my job to have the conversation when appropriate. When appropriate. And sometimes it's not appropriate. Sometimes it's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, hey, it does have some age to it, but it's lasting, it's running. You're going to get much further as a technician by 1, always telling the truth. 2, not just selling on age. I went to a system 2008, 2009, somewhere in there, that I go to hook my gauges up and it's R12. I don't have R12 gauges because they didn't make that stuff anymore. But the system was working properly. The guy goes, hey, this thing's really old. You know, what do you think? And I said, let's go through it. I can't run any refrigerant because I don't have gauges that go to R12. But let's go through and see what it takes to look. And man, the fan was pretty much dead on. The compressor was up running high amps. The capacitors were the thing, they look like this, but they look like a 40, right? A big green 40, and those are the ones that'll knock you on your butt. So be aware that just because something's old, just because something's got a damaged compressor, just because something has a cracked heat exchanger, doesn't mean it's going to sell. You can't get caught up in that trap. You got one of three things to do from here, just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.